Control feels good. Keep it nice and low. How low? Woo! That low. Oh boy. Don't try that at home. Whoa, that wire. All right, down the trench run again here. Oh, for some reason the current sensor just started working again, which is good. There's full throttle. Little pitch up. Let's click it over to acro. Doing better in manual mode. Still need to do a little bit of tuning on this thing. Overall, this plane has a similar feel to the Nano Goblin. Though I just got my Nano Goblin in, just needs to get built. So I'll be able to compare them side by side. I've upgraded this was a PNP, but I did upgrade the motor to a Xing 1408. I believe it's a 3600 kV machine motor. Currently on a 3x3 prop, the stock prop actually. Whatever the stock 3-inch prop is. Let's go through the gazebo again. Just bumpy enough to make that just a bit of a challenge. It was a little rougher earlier today. Slow roll. Now, one thing I'm predicting this airplane will struggle with here is inverted, so let's give it a little bit of height here. Probably okay without the weight of the Peanut up front, but with the Peanut, I think it'll struggle a bit. It seems to be doing okay so far. Not sure I'd feel super good about doing that close to the ground.
RF signal critical.
Crossfire does not like that little dip right there. I have actually experienced fail-safes on the quads before. Whoa!
Sensor lost.
I don't know what happened there, but I was pulling up and we were not going up. What I'm probably going to do with this machine, well, I'll be experimenting with it a little bit. I got a 3S battery, which will be flying here next. I've been flying this area for quite a long time. Never had anything but positive interaction with people here. Of course, obviously careful to not fly over the main areas like the skate park here and stuff when they're in use. But with these little airplanes, they're generally not very intimidating, and
GPS lost. GPS good.
people usually just find them interesting. So not really had much of an issue here. It'd be a little different if you were racing around 5-inch quads or some of our bigger, faster airplanes. You might get people who are a little bit concerned about that, which is fair. Which is why I really enjoy these small airplanes. They're just an excellent fit for areas like this. All right, launch is successful. Okay, this is now 3S. Feels a little more lively already. Oh yeah, there's 100 kilometers an hour. Definitely a little bit more. A little more pep. There's that power line this time. This definitely wakes it up a little bit more. Now we're more awake. And we've got the speed too. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I like this better. I don't need this thing to always be a ultra long cruiser. I'm happy to have a little bit more of a more aerobatic machine, so I may end up picking up some 3S 850 milliamp hour batteries. Those weigh about the same as the 2S 18650s, but they'll have this same get up and go, which is fun. Yeah, I like this. This is fast and fun. When you can hit this trench run at that sort of speed, you definitely got to keep an eye on it. Make sure there's nobody that's going to be walking down it when you're doing that. Of course, I've got my spotter available. We still got one tobogganer out there. With this power now on 3S, definitely have a better ability to pull out of any troublesome situation when you can pull straight up, get yourself turned around like this. At least lets you exit wherever area you're in quite a bit better. So now you can go vertical rather than just having to try and find a horizontal solution. yeah, this 3S, this is making this feel a little more fun. I'm going to be setting up my new Nano Goblin to be able to handle 3S as well. My previous Nano Goblin, I was using a step up for the Caddx Vista, because my initial investigation had showed that the Caddx Vista didn't like the really low 2S voltages. But subsequent testing has kind of shown otherwise, so I am running this one with the Caddx Vista, and I was just running it previously on the 2S battery, and that part seems to be okay. It doesn't seem to mind getting down even kind of below the rated spec for it. So I'm because I no longer have, because I don't have that step-up regulator in place like I did on my original Nano Goblin. Now you can switch batteries very easily. So now you can go up to that 3S, whereas before with that step-up regulator, they just basically said don't use an input voltage higher than the output voltage, which of course would have been too high on a 3S battery. So, all right, so we got someone on the path, so no fast trench run for us right now. Let's go check out this area over here. As long as it's calm, this little run right here. Oh, goggles didn't. Oh, SD card's full. Well, that'll do it. I thought, that's weird, my goggles aren't recording, and that's because my SD card is full. That'll do it. Got a person there, we'll board out of that. That's a great thing about the DJI high definition system, is it lets you see that well ahead of time. Quite frankly, you can keep better eye out than my spotter can. It's very hard to survey a large area like this. She looks like the person right there. Let's go see if we can't hit this or run the other way. Oh yeah, there we go. Shelby Vol, but it's not a bad little trench run right there. This battery power also makes inverted a lot easier. This is starting to fly a little bit more like a serious FPV machine. Overall, it's pretty snappy. I'm quite happy with it. One day, I'm going to hit that gap there. One day. Even with DJI, those little trees are hard to spot. a shame to end this flight, but I know my Peanut's not going to last much longer anyway, and I can't record on the goggles, which I'm not always a big fan of. Not that this area is that big if I had to go find the airplane, but maybe time to call it quits. Got a vehicle in my landing zone here, so we'll just wait for them to park, and then we'll come in for a landing. Over to manual for landing. Need a little more speed this time. There we are. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. This was some of my first real flights with this little dart. I was previously experimenting with it a little bit. I tried a twin motor setup on it when flying with a friend a little earlier, but it was pretty underpowered, so it didn't really work very well. We had some issues with launching, which led to a little bit of problems. And even in when flying around in cruise, I needed to be about 80% power just to kind of really be able to keep it in the air. So dropped it back to relatively standard single motor setup as what you were seeing in the video here. And I think overall that that worked pretty good. Added a little bit of flair to it, of course, because why not? I'll also be adding in the remote start and power for the Caddx Peanut. This will allow it to record for its kind of full duration, even during the colder temperatures, which will be affecting its battery. And I'll also be experimenting with position, as you saw with the mount where it is right now. You were seeing the FPV camera get caught in the field during stabilization. That's the other thing. I find that the Caddx Peanut Insta360 Go 2 a little over-stabilized. They kind of hide some of the feel of the flying. So you might have seen my previous video on Gyroflow. I will be doing a little bit more experimentation with that, seeing if I can't get a good product out of that. And if so, maybe I'll see if I can put a video showing how I did that. But I think that just needs to find a balance between stabilizing the footage and kind of hiding that feeling of flying. You really want to feel like you're actually in the airplane. And I do think that stabilization is a little bit overdone. I do find myself preferring the basic stabilization capture mode. If you're not aware, the Insta360 Go 2 and the Caddx Peanut, which are the same camera, by the way, if you're not aware, they have two modes they can shoot in: the normal basic video mode and the pro video mode. The pro video captures the full sensor image and the gyro data, and allows you to later on use that gyro data to export a stabilized video. But as I've shown here, it's a little bit overstabilized. The basic video applies some stabilization, but it's much less aggressive, and I think it does a good job of just taking out kind of the shakes and the yaw wobbles, but still gives an overall decent feel. So I'll be playing with kind of both the Gyroflow and basic stabilization, and just trying to find the setup that I like the best. Anyway, thanks again, and until next time.